All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're unpacking a story that's a real trip. It's part cosmic sci-fi, part supernatural horror, and a whole lot of surrealist dream. The narrative is called Jaglavak 1963, and trust me, it's a wild ride. So let's break this thing down. This line right here, this is the perfect place to start. It just cuts straight to the heart of the whole story. This isn't one of those tales where someone gets a cool superpower. No, this is about inheriting something heavy, a weight, a responsibility that stretches back through generations. So, to make sense of it all, here's our roadmap. First, we'll dig into this burden of supernatural sight. Then, we'll see how a person's memory can become a literal physical place. After that, we're going to crash a very chaotic party, jump centuries into the future, and finally, we'll uncover what this Jaglavak epistle really is. Okay, let's start at the beginning, with our protagonist. He's about to be forced to see a strange, hidden world. And for him, this is where the burden truly begins. So, meet Papillion Day. His entire life gets turned upside down when his uncle Ishmael, who's just worn down by what he's been seeing, passes him a pair of glasses. And let's be clear, this is not some cool family heirloom. This is the moment a heavy, heavy mantle gets passed on. So, what do these glasses actually let him see? Well, they reveal these monstrous things called the hinks. Just try to imagine it. You put on these glasses, and suddenly you see these soft, pink, lamprey-mouthed parasites crawling all over people. People who are spiritually dying but haven't fulfilled their purpose yet. I mean, what a horrifying sight to have to live with. And that right there is the whole point. This ability, it's incredibly isolating. Papillon is now seeing a layer of reality nobody else can. It's this constant, monstrous secret he has to carry completely alone. So yeah, it's not a gift. It's his family's curse. As if seeing psychic parasites wasn't enough, the story just keeps building on the strangeness. We're now shifting gears from supernatural horror into some really high-concept science fiction. This line comes from a scientist, a guy named Walter Bishop, and he's explaining to Papillon that his mind, and specifically his memories of his own childhood neighborhood, have been used as the literal blueprint for a pocket universe. Yeah, his imagination has been colonized. So you have to understand this split. On one side, you've got these deeply personal memories, the fabric of his childhood. And on the other, you have this bizarre, artificial reality that's been built from them. And it's now being used to store data and house these weird, genetically engineered beings. And that is why this matters so much. His inner world is no longer his. It's become a valuable piece of real estate, a place where all these different forces are fighting for control. His mind is both the map and the territory. All right, let's bring things back down to earth for a second, back to Papillon's immediate reality. We're about to walk into a really chaotic party scene, a bacchanalia. And this party is the perfect storm, a place where every single pressure in his life all converges at once. The pressure is coming from everywhere. I mean, even his friends are bringing this intense, totally bizarre drama. His friend Penman accuses him of something Papillion can't even remember, because apparently it hasn't even happened yet. You can tell time gets a little complicated in this story. And then you have the weight of his past. An ex-girlfriend shows up, and she is still furious about something he wrote. It just goes to show you, his history is very much alive and kicking, and ready to confront him. There are just no clean breaks for this guy. And of course, in the middle of all this personal chaos, work calls. His copy editor, Judy, is on the phone with urgent demands from his publisher. His professional life just bleeds into everything else. There's really no escape. So you see, the Bacchanalia isn't just a party. It's a pressure cooker. It's the one place where his past relationships, his writing career, and his very strange contractual duties, like, being an imaginary friend, all just collide in this one overwhelming sensory overload. Okay, now I need you to hang on, because we're about to take a huge leap. We're jumping from the chaotic present into a distant and surprisingly purposeful future. This is where you really start to see the true scale of this story. I mean, just look at this number, 200 years. That's the amount of time dilation Papillion's future self experiences as a StarCraft pilot, and it all happens in what feels like less than 1 year back on Earth. We are now firmly in the 23rd century. And here he is. Meet Tolo. He is the future version of Papillon Day. The chaotic young man we've been following becomes this grizzled, long-haul space driver. And this connection right here is the absolute key to understanding the whole narrative. Now, Tolo's experiences aren't just for him. After these incredibly long journeys, he has to go through this 40-day ritual called the walk down. During this whole process of recompression, he has to manually write down every single one of his memories into an epistle before his body literally forgets them. And this is the twist that changes everything. Papillon's struggles, seeing the Yanks, the crazy party, none of it was random. It was all lived experience. It was being intentionally captured. His life is basically a historical record, vital data being preserved for the future. The burden is finally being transformed into a legacy. Which brings us right to our final section, where all these different pieces, the glasses, the pocket universe, the party, the future, they're all woven together to finally explain the title of the story itself. After everything we've been through, this is the ultimate question, isn't it? Who, or maybe what, is Jaglavak? Well, Jaglavak isn't just a person. It's more like a title, a role. It's the sum of all these incredible parts. It's Papillon Day, the guy who hosts an artificial personality. It's the architect whose memories built an entire universe. It's Tesolo, the futuristic pilot. And ultimately, Jaglavak is the living record itself, a consciousness that exists to observe, to experience, and to record. It is a living epistle. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought to end on. This story reframes absolute chaos as crucial data. It turns painful burdens into a priceless legacy. So it kind of makes you wonder, if your own life was a story being recorded for the future, which of your most chaotic, overwhelming moments would end up defining your legacy?